afternoon and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today's the start of a new racing week over at Del Mar. It is August 29th. I've only got a couple more weekends left for the summer meeting. So let's try to finish off this summer meeting strong, get some wins here, and we'll start it off today. So I'm going to skip the first couple races at Del Mar, and I'm going to start with the fourth race in a late pick 4, and I've got a couple win bets I like later today. So fourth race starts about 5:35 here Central Time, so 3:35 in Pacific Time Zone. We've got a maiden claimer. It is $20,000 for fillies and mares going a mile in the dirt. So this is your bottom rung horses there in the maiden ranks over in Southern California. I've got 3 horses here I want to try and get the pick 5 started off with. I'm going to start off with a long shot here. The one horse was Stormy Gal. Now, I feel like Stormy Gal, she's run with some nice horses last year, so she's dropping in for nothing. I know these connections don't win a whole lot, but I just think this horse has a ton of speed. They're putting the apprentice on Arantes, 7-pound apprentice, getting a huge weight break. Now, I'm not really, I don't expect a whole lot from Arantes, but I do think as an apprentice, he probably can get a horse out and just go and see how far he can go. So, mile race, we'll take a shot at a long shot here. Then I've got a couple other horses I'm going to put in. I'm going to put the 5 horse who is Annie's Hope for Carla Gaines. Freysu takes over. I like the fact that Freysu has taken over for Talamo. Talamo rode this horse the last couple times. This horse comes out of a short race, so I think that should sharpen up this horse's speed a little bit. Freysu should get this horse out clean, get some good position, and might just be better here, having run with some better horses here too. So, and then also I've got the 7 horse was Girl Can't Help It. Now, Girl Can't Help It comes out of the Gary Mandela barn, so I'm just hoping that Girl Can't Help It can outrun her trainer here. You know, this horse is 5-2 in the program, gets Kyle Frey, is the program favorite. I see why. Horse has made some nice runs, but she just gets out of the gate poorly every time she runs. So, we'll see. If this horse can break out clean, she seems to have some run in her, and it would give this horse a lot less to do into the far turn, into the stretch, where she probably could run these horses down. So that's the 7, Girl Can't Help It. So I've got 3 horses here. I said I've got the 1, the 5, and the 7. All right, now let's move over to the next race. Next race is the 5th race. This is a condition claimer, 30,000 claimers, non-winners of 3 races in their lifetime. They're going a mile and a 16th on the grass. So I think this is kind of a tough race here. I don't see any standouts here. I've got 4 horses to try to get this pick 5 moved along. I'm going to go first with the 1 who is Battle Call for John Sadler. John Sadler drops his horse into claiming, puts Emily Ellingwood on the horse. Now, Sadler used to use Emily Ellingwood pretty effectively when she was an apprentice, so looks like he's giving her a chance here. This horse coming off a layoff, so I'm just wondering if maybe this horse found his friends, I should say, and Ellingwood, can give this horse a good ride. 5-1 in the program. That's the 1 Battle Call. I'm also going to put the 4 horse who is Mega Moon for Peter Miller. Now, Mega Moon ran in this level last time over at Del Mar, a mile on the grass, a little shorter, and I thought just ran a nice even race. Maybe needed the race after I watched the replay. So this horse might be improved here with Freysu at 7-2 in the program. I'm also going to put the 6 horse who is Ferrariano for Brian Corner. Now, I didn't like this horse last time. This horse is coming off a win in the California allowance ranks. I know I didn't have this horse last time. Got up on the wire with Cedillo. Now they're putting this horse, after that win in for a claim for $30,000. I mean, this horse has run in claiming races, so this is not some type of panic button drop. I just feel like, Corner probably has a good idea of what this horse is, and they're just trying to win races. Apparently horse does like Del Mar, having run well there, so they're just trying to probably pick up a purse here. If you want to claim the horse for 30, be their guest. They probably don't mind. But, regardless, we're handicapping here, so Ferrariano should be, live here at 3-1 here. That's a 6 horse with Abel Cedillo. Then I've got the 8 horse who is Yakovlev. This is for Amador Sanchez. This horse coming from Gulfstream Park. Hector Barrios takes the call for Sanchez. They've taken a couple changes here. Blinkers off. Barrios takes the call. Now I see Barrios actually rode this horse at Gulfstream back earlier in the summer. So he must have been out there for something and ended up riding this horse. So maybe got familiar with this horse. They claim this horse for 25,000. These connections claimed this horse off Jack Sisterson, who I don't know how good of a trainer Sisterson is. So this guy might be able to improve this horse a little bit. I think the horse shows some nice runs over at Gulfstream Park. Should put this horse in competitive in this race. So that's the 8 horse, who is Yakovlev. So it's the 1, 4, 6, and 8 I've got in the 5th race. Now let's move over to the 6th race of the day. 6th race of the day is a nice race, maiden special weight at a mile on the dirt. This 3-year-old fillies. Some big purchase prices here. So, you'll see some nice horses, possibly. Some big purchase prices. I'm going against the favorite. There are a couple big purchase prices. The 1 horse Scarlet Avenue, $800,000 purchase for Sadler. I'm not a fan of that horse today. And I'm also not going to put in the favorite, who is Cavalieri, for Bob Baffert. It's also an $800,000 horse. This horse is a first-time starter going a mile. They putting him in at 8-5. I don't know. I just think maybe there's some other horses here that could win this race today. I am going to put 2 horses in here. I've got the 6 horse Accuracy from Michael McCarthy. Michael McCarthy, brought this horse out one time over at Del Mar, ran this horse in a 6.5 dirt sprint, and I thought the horse ran a really nice race. He ran up against a pretty nice horse in One Magic Filly, who was really ready to run that day, and I just thought this horse gave a nice effort at a sprint, going to a route now, should be ready to go and live there. Then I also like the other Baffert horse, so I'm going to put in the pick 5, and I'm also going to make a win bet. That's the 9 horse was Well Funded. Now, when Well Funded, I believe I've given out this horse a couple times. I really like the dam of this horse. I mean, her mom was Tough Tiz Assist, and Tough Tiz Assist was a really nice horse. She's out of Tough Tiz Assist, sired by Good Magic. So the nice breeding here. Now, Well Funded has run some nice races, probably frustrating the Baffert barn because they're probably figuring, why hasn't this horse broken her maiden yet? But, I did better last time. She was 12-1 that day. She ended up running up against Normandy Queen, who was definitely a well-meant starter that day. Normandy Queen came out of a very live race that I know we've talked about before, the race where Hope Road won the maiden. So Normandy Queen and a couple others had come out of that race and broke their maiden. So Normandy Queen was really live. Well Funded ended up coming second, a very nice second to Normandy Queen that day. So I think Kimura fits this horse well. He put a good ride on her last time, 5-1. How many times do you see the Baffert when they have a pair of horses that the higher price comes in? So I'm going to hope this time this happens. So I've got Well Funded, who's a 6 horse, at 5-1. So I've got the 6 and 9 in the pick 5, and then a win bet on the 9 at Well Funded. Now let's move over to the next race, which is the 7th race. 7th race is it's a nice allowance condition. It's a 3rd level allowance condition for 3-year-olds. Non-winner 3 times, or if they've passed that condition, they can put them in for a $100,000 claim. They're running on the grass at a mile and a 16th, and I just feel this is a very open race. So, I don't have a pick. I'm going to go with all. There's 7 horses in the race. I'm going to go with all. I feel like all of them seem to bring something to the table. I'm hoping for maybe one of the prices to come in here and have this pick 5 live going into the last race. So there seems to be a reason why all of these horses can possibly win, or reasons why they may not. So we're going to just go with all, hit that all button and hope. Then I'm going to go with the last race here. And the last race of the day is a Calbred allowance at a mile on the dirt. Interestingly enough, there seem to be carding some 2-turn dirt races today. And what I like about this race is they put together a field of Calbreds who seem to have more of a resume on the turf. So they're trying to see who can go on the dirt here. So I like this. I like I think it's creative by the Del Mar Racing Office, and I think it put together a nice field of horses. I do have a single here. This is my single in the pick 5, and also a win bet here. I like the 1 horse who was Run a Mile in My Shoes. This is for Jeff Mullins. Juan Hernandez takes the call. This horse has been running on turf. Her whole career has been 8 starts on the turf. Broke her maiden on the turf, and was one of those horses back in the spring, summer at Santa Anita where was running nice races, but always seemed to find a way to not break her maiden. So it looks to me like they figured out something with this horse. Back in June, Hernandez ran this horse pretty close to the lead, kind of like you'd do in a dirt race on the turf at a mile on the turf. And this horse really ran huge. Ended up running, probably her biggest race. So I like the way that horse ran. They ended up bringing her back, running in a same kind of level allowance race here at Del Mar on the turf. And I thought she ran a very nice race. Pretty even race, was finishing up well, and it ended up being a very live race that she came out of because the winner, Moment's Pleasure, ended up winning a stakes race. Court Snort, who came third in that race, ended up winning an allowance race last week. So that was a very live race that Run a Mile in My Shoes comes out of. So I just like her today on the dirt. She's had 3 nice works on the dirt, so I'm thinking that they just noticed something here and said, let's do this. So I think this horse has enough speed to get on the lead. Hernandez, absolutely capable rider. And, you know, when this horse is run close to the lead, seems to like she's run her best races. So that's kind of what I'm expecting from Run a Mile in My Shoes at 3-1. You know, don't really have all that much bad to say about the other horses. I just think the one's going to be better today. So that's the 1 horse single and a win bet on that horse. All right, so let's recap the day here and recap the tickets. So at Del Mar, we're starting up in the 4th race here with the late pick 5. 4th race, I've got the 1, 5, 7 with the 1, 4, 6, 8 with the 6 and 9, and then I've got the win bet on the 9 horse. That's the Baffert other horse in the 6th race. And then we've got all in the 7th race. Couldn't split that race, so putting all. And then a single in the last race. That's the 1 horse, Run a Mile in My Shoes. So that pick 5 ticket comes out to be $84. So if you feel that's your speed, you know, feel free to jump in. If you want to add or subtract to it, you know, you do so. Play pick 3s within it. You know, certainly pick 3s can be worthwhile, or even the pick 4. And then I've also got the win bets in the 6th race, the 9 horse, and the 8th race, the 1 horse. So whichever way you decide to go today, I'm wishing you the best of luck today. And let's see some good trips. Let's have some good trips, because good trips result in great luck at Del Mar, whether it's dirt or turf today. Let's wish the folks over at Del Mar a safe day of racing. So as always, I ask you to please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, like or dislike. The subscribe button doesn't cost anything, gets you on the feed, so you get served up your content when new content comes available. Like, dislike, make comments. Love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with more coverage from Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf.